Welcome back, my dear student. In this lecture, I wanted to explain to you in a very easy format what CodeIgniter actually is. I don't want to overcomplicate things, really. CodeIgniter is just a framework. It's just a file with a bunch of classes and functions and many other things in there that just makes things easier for us, all right? These functions are already predefined for us, all right? Even though PHP already predefined a whole bunch of functions to make it easier for us, CodeIgniter is actually another file that we can use with many classes, many even properties, objects that we can use with PHP together to write code a lot easier, to make code more flexible, to make code more secure. All right, so let me actually show you. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to my best friend right here, which is Google. All right, I'm going to click on this tab right here because I think I already visited this. All right, so this is the CodeIgniter.com website right here. This is the website. All right, we can download the CodeIgniter from here, read the manual, view the forums, or even go on GitHub from here, right? We can do a couple things. One of your best friends besides Google right now at this point, this is my best friend. Maybe I'll change it later on. But one of my best friends is documentation. All right, this will tell you everything you need to know about anything. So you click on documentation and you go and view the user guide right here. All right, maybe in the future they'll change it, but you can always find documentation for any framework in their page. And anything you want would be here on the right side. You can search on it like this, database, enter, and then you can read about anything you want, right? Now, let's go and find out a little bit about what MVC actually is. CodeIgniter is not hard to get. All right. So I'm going to type in CodeIgniter overview MVC. I'm going to click on this first link. But before I do that, know that CodeIgniter, all right, is one of the most popular frameworks out there. And that's why I'm making this course. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to explain to you all this content that they are actually making a little bit more complicated than what actually is. So model view controller, or MVC, means that we're separating the logic from presentation. All right, we're separating all those really advanced code from that user presentation, from the page, from the HTML page. All right, so for instance, this page right here could be a view. All right, and if I click on a button right here, this could communicate and will communicate with a model and with a controller. Now, I know you don't understand exactly what I just said right now. I'm just giving you some general information before I explain it to you. All right. So we start with the model. Model is a folder in this framework, which I'm going to show you in a minute, that will contain all the classes that will do things that will communicate with our database. All right. So we could have a user model, we could have a form model, we could have many different models. Those models would be classes, and inside those classes we will have functions, of course, right? And properties and all that. All right. So basically what this whole framework is doing is separating these classes from the view classes and from the controller classes. Now, the view classes are going to be classes in charge of presenting the HTML code, right? These are going to be functions and, properties, whatever. All right, these files are going to be what you see, all right, out there, like the header, the footer, any web page you can think of. This will be in the views folder. And I'll show you that in a minute, of course. Now the controller, and we're going to be using this a lot along with the model if we use databases, is basically the middleman. The controller will be where we will write our functions, our primary functions, and we will say something like, I want you to show me a web page, all right? I want you to show me a view, all right? But at the same time, I also want to get some information from a model, all right, and then transfer it to a view. So this is going to be the controller. This is going to control everything. It's going to control the views, and it's going to control the models, the databases, and the web pages. And that's all. All right? Don't overcomplicate it. Don't think this is science fiction or whatever. This is very simple. It's just that they divided this, all right, into this structure. Web pages into databases, web pages, and the main functions that control this too. All right, and you're gonna see, and all you have to learn basically is the syntax, is the way we write functions and things like that in the CodeIgniter. And this is why I created this course, because I'm going to show you I'm going to show you the syntax that CodeIgniter uses to communicate with this, to get views, to get models, and to use controllers. All right, we're gonna be using all these three very, very soon, and I'm gonna show you how to use it. All right, so anyway, I think I'm done explaining to you, giving you the general information about what CodeIgniter is and what MVC really is. All right. So basically, if you want to leave with some information out of this lecture here, just know that basically Model View Controller, or MVC framework, is just a separation, all right, of your code into these three different categories: models, views, and controllers. All right, and that's all. And you're gonna see this in the file structure in the upcoming lecture. Thank you so much, and I'll see you then. Take care.